I never thought my name would be spoken on another world, let alone shouted by a chorus of alien women. The first time it happened, I thought I was hallucinating. Maybe the oxygen scrubbers had failed. Maybe I was dying. But when the word human echoed through that crystalline chamber and every one of them turned toward me, I realized it wasn't a dream. They had chosen me. Beginning, the human among the stars. My name is Elias Ward, communications officer aboard the Andromeda Reach, an exploratory vessel charting the unclaimed edges of the Lyran expanse. We weren't supposed to make contact with any intelligent species. The region was marked as uninhabited for centuries. But on the 34th day of our survey, our scanners picked up a massive energy field on the planet Sarah 4, deep within a nebula we called the Siren Veil. When we descended through the misty clouds, we saw it, a sprawling city made entirely of translucent crystal towers, pulsing with soft light like the inside of a living organism. The city wasn't abandoned. The first encounter. They came to meet us, humanoid figures, tall and elegant, their skin faintly glowing with the light of Sarah's twin moons. Their hair shimmered in shades of silver and violet, moving as if alive, and their eyes were so bright they seemed to see through everything. They called themselves the Velyrians, an all-female species, or so they appeared. Their leader, High Matriarch Elara, greeted us in a voice that resonated directly in the mind. "Welcome, travelers of the old blood. We thought your kind were myths." Our captain, Dr. Reyes, tried to respond, but she smiled faintly, as if she already understood. They spoke through thought, telepathy so refined it felt like music in the skull. Over the next few days, we were honored guests. The Velyrians shared their food, glowing fruit that tasted like honey and lightning, and showed us their cities powered by something called the Heartlight, an energy source drawn directly from living consciousness. But it didn't take long before we realized we weren't just visitors. We were subjects in some kind of ancient ritual. The ceremony of choosing. On the 7th day, the matriarch summoned us to the Amethyst Hall, a chamber so large it felt like standing inside a planet's core. Thousands of Velyrian women stood in perfect silence, their silver robes shimmering like waves. Elara's voice filled the hall. Every century, we choose our bondmates, those whose essence can merge with ours, continuing the cycle of life and memory. But the ancient energy has faded. Our kind can no longer create life, unless the old blood returns. Dr. Reyes frowned. "Old blood? What do you mean?" Elara's glowing eyes turned toward us. "The humans, your ancestors, were the first to merge with us, before time was broken. The union between our species gave birth to the Valyrian consciousness itself. You are our origin." The chamber pulsed with light. Thousands of eyes turned to us. The choosing begins. We thought it was symbolic until it wasn't. One by one, the Velyrian women began stepping forward, their eyes glowing brighter. They looked at each member of our crew, Dr. Reyes, Commander Soto, Engineer Myra, and then they came to me. And then, to my horror and disbelief, they all pointed at me. Middle, the chosen one. The hall erupted with a strange, melodic sound, not laughter, not applause, but something between the two. Elara descended from her crystalline throne, studying me with curiosity. "Elias Ward," she said softly, her voice like the hum of a star. "Do you know why they choose you?" I stammered. I don't even know what's happening." She extended her hand, and suddenly, my vision filled with images, memories that weren't mine. I saw a man standing beside a Velyrian woman under a sky of violet light. He looked exactly like me. "It was you," Elara said. "Thousands of years ago, before your people left for the stars. The first union between human and Velyrian was yours." I stumbled backward. "That's not possible. I wasn't even born." "Your body wasn't," she said gently, "but your essence was. We are beings of memory. Your spirit returns when the cycle calls for it." The crew was stunned. Myra whispered, "So they think you're some kind of reincarnated ancestor?" I wished that were all it was. But Illyra's eyes told me she believed it, and worse, that she needed me. The joining. That night, they held a second ceremony, smaller, more intimate, lit by floating orbs of light. I stood in the center of a circular platform, surrounded by 10 Velyrian women, the chosen circle. Illyra stood before me, holding a crystalline pendant that pulsed with faint light. "Through the joining," she said, "our consciousnesses become one. You will see as we see, feel as we feel. But it is not without cost." The others began to hum a deep, resonant vibration that made the entire chamber quiver. The light intensified, swirling around me. I felt warmth, then cold, then a flood of sensations that weren't mine. Images, emotions, entire lifetimes, love, loss, war, creation. Thousands of years compressed into seconds. I fell to my knees, gasping, clutching my head as visions flooded in. Velyrian mothers holding children made of light. Wars that shattered galaxies. Human explorers walking beside alien queens. And through it all, a single voice whispered in my mind. "Elias, you came back. The truth beneath the light." When I awoke, I was lying in a crystalline chamber, glowing veins of energy crawling along the walls. Illyra sat beside me, watching quietly. "You survived," she said softly. "The others never do." I blinked. "Others?" She hesitated. "You think you are the first human we found? The first we tried to join with?" My blood went cold. "Your kind came before. Centuries ago. Some resisted. Some broke." I sat up. "So this isn't a ritual, it's an experiment." She didn't deny it. "It is our only hope. Without connection, the Velyrians will fade. The Heartlight weakens each cycle. We needed someone who could bridge the memory, someone whose soul still remembers the first bond." "And that's me," I whispered. She nodded. "You are the echo of the one who began us. The ancient one who loved a Velyrian queen and gave us our spark. The choice." When I returned to my crew, they were arguing. Commander Soto wanted to leave immediately. "They're using you, Elias. Whatever this joining is, it's not about peace, it's about survival. Ours or theirs." But part of me couldn't shake what I'd seen in the vision, the truth of our shared past. Humanity and the Velyrians weren't enemies. We were fragments of one being, separated by time and fear. That night, Illyra came to me again. "If you leave," she said, "our kind will fade. But if you stay, the union can restore what was lost. Not just for us, for you, too." She extended her hand. "Be the bridge again." I looked at her, the glow of her eyes, the sadness in her voice, and I realized what terrified me most wasn't her offer. It was how much I wanted to say yes. The storm of memory. The next day, a storm hit, not weather, but energy. The Heartlight itself was destabilizing. Crystals shattered, the city trembled, and the skies tore open in violent arcs of plasma. The crew prepared for evacuation, but Illyra stopped me. "The Heartlight reacts to the memories within it. It feels your conflict, your indecision." "I'm not a god," I said. "I can't fix your planet." She smiled faintly. "You don't need to be. You only need to remember." She placed her hand against my chest, and suddenly, the world fell away.